how apparently he knows about a sex chat that's on Twitch, so we're gonna have a real good talk later.
Automod, flag the word please as a sex term.
That's fun. That's really fun.
Huh.
I like that, actually.
I mean, anything can be made into that.
Oh, you know.
Okay, sure.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Welcome to our sex ed panel.
I mean, I've done this before, and I'll do it again. There's nothing worse than standing in front of a bunch of fucking college students and having to give them sex ed. So, I'm impermeable.
Oh my god, you've done that too?
Yeah.
Oh dear lord.
Was yours at work?
No, I am technically a queer sex educator. I'm trained in, like, actually, like, discussing, like, AIDS work and sex and all of that other sort of things.
I may or may not love you too.
Oh.
At least you're better qualified than when they asked me to do it, and I was just a fucking TA.
Yeah. No, we had to go through training because I had to be able to administer the prick test. Which is not about a penis, actually. Gotta get the laughs out.
I don't understand.
When you need to get testing for some sexual diseases and AIDS, in America they do something called a prick test, which
code is
in other places, penis. But it's just like a little needle that they hit with your finger, just like a diabetes thing.
Oh, okay, I see what you're talking about now.
Mm-hmm. But when you say prick test to a bunch of Brits,
lol.
Yeah.
This one? This one.
The join ID is in the chat.
A space to open menus. Oh.
It sure is loading for me. We'll say.
Too many windows, not enough screen. Too many windows, not enough screen.
I do need more screen. I need more screen every day of my life. Uh-oh.
I have controls.
Oh, I've created a spinning D20 in the air.
I see that, actually, and nothing else. Hey, a 20.
Hey!
I win!
You really fucked your rolls for the rest of the game, I think.
Fuck.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure you didn't roll that, though.
How do I put it away? I can't...
Whee! Whee!
How do I get rid of you? There we go.
I won't lie.
Little garbage. Oh, I love object physics.
It's just the most haunted D20 just spinning all over the shop.
I kind of love it.
Everybody lose your mind.
All hail D20!
GJ.
Oh, where did that go? Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
How
Right.
do I...
Okay.
Oh, now what the hell? Where is it?
It's way over on the left-hand side. I can't pick it up, though.
I can't either. Out that far. It's behind your name, I think. Oh, there it is. Hey! Give me.
Over there.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Violently shakes my die.
Is everybody
I think that's everybody's die.
No, it should just be mine. Where's the garbage can?
We have Saren, we have Ed, we have Aluka, we have a name that I do not recognize, but I'm assuming is either Rose or Fluff.
Fluffle is my sister.
Right. Yes.
What is the name that shows up?
Alright.
Nathala.
That would be us.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
That's fine. Right. Welcome to the creation space. This area, or this board rather, is what we're going to be using generally to roll dice in relation to leveling up and creating characters. This area is essentially just... It's an empty void ready to be sculpted, if you will. This is the beginning, the very beginning of your adventures. Now, obviously, this isn't the world that you will be playing in. This is simply limbo, if you will.
I love to be in limbo.
In this limbo, we will be essentially using it for today to introduce your characters and to roll up the remainder of your stats and figure out who is who and make some introductions. So, starting from the top, we're going to go down the list as to who is who and who you are in this world, and introduce your characters in the world of Shadows of Sorcery. Yeah.
QCSI music.
Yeah, dropping the D20 didn't have quite the same oomph as cueing intro music, sorry.
I think you have to throw it with a passion here. Let's just...
But yes. So, with that being said, welcome everyone to the Shadows of Sorcery campaign, Session 0.
We apologize for nothing.
I apologize for everything.
Which is going to be an interesting ride, I'm sure. I am your host, Lucian V. Ghost, and I am also your Dungeon Master for this campaign. Let's go down the list and introduce ourselves so that we know who we are and we know who everyone else is. Sarin, you can go first.
Well, Sarantal, and I am playing Gilk Verlif, a human barbarian.
You're barely later than you.
I don't know what else you guys want me to say on that. Are you just looking at character bio, or...?
I'm just glad you
give
went
us
first, mate.
Give us a basic rundown of your character. Like, tell us what he's like.
So, he's very Canadian.
Oh boy!
Hailing from a mountain village that supplied lumber to most of the region, he was captured during a bandit raid and sent off to the gladiator pits. After winning his freedom, he is now on the hunt for those that have wronged him. And I swear I'm gonna scratch sorry into my great axe.
I'm so fucking glad that you've gone off with the, lumberjack angle. That's good.
Okay, so Sarin, the lumberjack barbarian, essentially.
Pretty much.
Next
Does one
in
side
line,
of the axe say sorry, and the other one says not?
I mean, we can work it. We can work it.
Oh dear. Next in line, Ed.
Hello, I'm Ed, and I will be playing Isaac Galmek, who is a human cleric from decently sort of a small-time town. Used to be an adventurer, just sort of the order that he is part of, this subsection of the Church of Metano, is kind of a Helsing-ish, Belmont-ish kind of section. He's led an ordinary life, happily married. Got a small daughter, currently aged about sort of 10, 12-ish. And unfortunately, he...
Dice!
That is a lot of dice! That's a lot of dice!
Good lord. Sorry, continue, Ed.
No, it's fine. Unfortunately, while out on a... all I can see is this eldritch cloud of dice now.
Oh, hail the dice!
I see.
Most of them are ones, but...
Wow.
God damn it, Luca.
So yeah, cutting short, basically, out on a usual quest for the church. Unfortunately, usual small town village attack, typical backstory character type. Wifey is now dead, unfortunately. Daughter hates him because she thinks he should have been there, and is off living with the extended family. Isaac just does jobs for the church to try and make money, make amends, and generally try and ensure his daughter's future as best he can, even though she don't want to talk to him.
Fair enough.
Where I'm stopping.
Right.
So sad.
Interesting. Also, I should point out, before we continue any further, there is a selection of different NPCs and stuff in the library. So if you press space and then press O. You'll get a little library of stuff. If you guys want to select a character to put on the board.
I'm not getting anything for Space and Dice.
Yeah, I'm not getting the library.
I do not think we can do that. I think that's a DM thing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We'll go through some options for visuals later on. Will be implementing Hero Forge integration into this. You good, Ed?
Ed, yeah, I did not like that noise actually.
It's just that I'm just happy that we can actually like create characters.
Yes.
But yes, we will have Hero Forge integration later on down the line. It's not in yet, but it is planned, so you will be able to make a custom miniature to have in game. Currently, not a thing, but it will be later on down the line. So we'll grab some miniatures for you guys to pick and choose from later on. Right, Aluka, would you care to give us the rundown?
Sure. I'm Aluka Karan. My character's name is Guillaume Meyer, or just Guy. He's just a Juster. He's a little guy. And, for the most part, when you guys come across him for the first time, he kind of just looks like he's been on the road and traveling for a very long time. He seems to kind of like to tell stories, but he doesn't seem to like to talk about anything else.
And
he'll fit with the Canadian Barbarian. I'll never tell him to shut up.
And last but not least, Pinky Rose and Fluffle, who are both... Oh my god, the cloud of dice is back.
Praise me.
Who are both playing, technically, the same character.
Alright, so my character is a tiefling. She is named Nithari. She has an ancestral curse that was placed upon her through her bloodline that has, at the age of 22, a random member of the family will have their soul essentially split. And upon having the soul split, they are outcasted from their family. My soul has just split, but I don't understand really what the issue is, as I have not experienced this split as of yet.
The ominous cloud of dice is a little bit distracting. I'm gonna be honest.
Just a smidge, especially if you have ADD here.
I'll put it away. I have ADD, which is why I was playing with the ominous cloud of dice.
I use the ADD to fight the ADD.
I will simply play with the dice that I have in real life.
Oh, you
Fair
too.
enough. Oh,
so
boy.
Nithiri has the split personality that will randomly occur, and her split is called Nathala, and neither one of them knows that the other one exists.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna throw out some offerings for each of you in regards to NPC like miniatures that you can use. I'm gonna start with I'm gonna start with Saren.
Oh god, no.
Look, you brought this on yourself.
I probably did. Alright, where's the plaid shirt?
Canadian.
Okay,
where's the red flannel
first
jacket?
offering is practically just Conan the Barbarian. Because, you know.
I do not see it.
We see nothing.
Oh, hold on. It's...
We are work.
I mean, all I'm seeing is this admittedly very nice Grecian-looking place.
I do like this. I mean, zoom in and look at the details on the tiles, though.
Oh, there they are.
Right. Oh, wait, right.
Conan the Barbarian and a character from Monster Prom.
You have made Lady S into the human barbarian as well.
I've made you all
also
into the human barbarian.
This is fun. I like that.
I assume that if I give one person control, it'll show up for every bloody hell. Who's controlling the barbarian?
That's not me.
No, this is what we mean. You've
Not
given
us,
us
not
all
at all.
control of the same human barbarian.
I have not done anything.
Yeah.
It was
Stop
like
after the
control
ominous dice
everyone.
cloud.
And he's off.
Okay.
He's off on an adventure!
No.
Okay,
My bad,
Saren.
I'm sorry.
I played you, Casa.
So Saren currently has control of
And he's
the,
dead.
of the barbarian. Do you all see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's
He's
fine.
dead. He's lying face down on the ground. It was a hard night.
Apparently.
Right. We also have on Saren's list of possible miniatures.
I'm interested in the skeleton that's just sort of hanging out.
Oh, that's me.
Ah, right, okay.
Oh God.
Oh, there's a bit
I'm
of
gonna
a
get real.
dramatic change.
I'm gonna
if
get
that was
real
the
in
barbarian.
close.
We also have sort of a Viking man who's got a big axe, which might fit a little better.
I need to turn off depth of field. Everyone's blurring.
Double click with your right mouse button, and everything should come into focus.
No, I've already turned it off. It's fine. Don't like depth of field anyway.
Okay. And last but not least, what the?
Gone.
I saw like a guitar for a second.
Yeah.
We have this man.
Yeah, that's a guitar.
These are my 3 offerings for your barbarian miniature.
It is an
I
axe.
mean, it is an axe.
Topless.
So, yeah.
You know what? For now, I'm gonna go with this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Rockstar
'cause.
gentleman. Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Right. So we have Saren, the axe-wielding barbarian, literally. Right.
Never specified what kind of axe it was.
Next.
I mean-
oh bloody hell!
Weird
That's
Minis
a lot
was
of
what
dice.
accidentally created one of my favorite characters of the synth bard.
Right. Next
Just
up,
wielding a
we
fucking
have
guitar.
we have our dear friend Ed, who we need to select a miniature for now. Spellcaster Cleric.
So many dice.
Oh. Oh.
That's,
I don't know what classes you've got available to pick from, but I'm thinking the clericy ones might end up a bit roby.
Yeah, there are no cleric classes. I should point out. There's just warriors, spellcasters, and commoners in this. What race is your cleric again?
How are there nothing in the middle like your rogue types?
Acer of the Axis,
Warriors
baby.
or commoners?
Ah.
There's so
Anyway.
many dice.
I'm.
So many dice.
There's option 1 for you, Ed, in the middle of all the dice. Oh god, there's more dice.
Multiply.
Okay, we need to stop with the dice. It's actually lagging the game.
I was
more
curious
dice.
to see how many dice would do that.
Oh god. It's this amount of dice.
I have not
There's
done
too
any
many
more
dice.
I have not done any more dice.
How do I clear up the dice is the question
Everyone
now.
has to clear up the dice by clicking right click on the
Right
dice file, if you will. I will say,
Oh god.
I was invited to this campaign by with the statement, Aluka, would you like to cause a little chaos? And I'm glad that it's already started.
Full dice clear. There we go.
No.
Dice wipe.
Oh.
And the
I will roll a
the
69
game is
with one of these
actually
dice
not
piles one day.
responding now.
Oh, they're vibrating a lot, actually.
Oh boy.
Anybody else see that?
Yep.
Yeah, the game is not responding for
It's
me.
not me.
What I love is it's not even counting
Ed.
them as rolled anymore. They're just sort of vibrating in a pile, and eventually, if they hit the ground, then it counts as rolled.
Lucian cleared all the dice, but they're still here.
I cleared
Yeah,
all the
the
dice,
dice
and
did
now
not
my
work.
game has stopped
Yeah,
responding.
you guys might
Can't
right
hear
clicking
Lucian
those because
anymore.
my game is actually starting to. My game is starting to be unhappy.
Okay, I'm trying to clear them out. People keep throwing more in.
OF.
I'm trying to find which
You
ones
just
I
threw them off
placed.
the side of the screen to clear it.
Where even are the ones I placed? Jesus.
Lucian, how did you do a full dice clear?
Right,
by my game
right click on your
crashing.
dice.
Ah!
Waiting
Well,
on GM.
there it
Oh, that
goes.
explodes.
Yeah.
As
Oops.
he said it. Wait, hang on. That means it
Oh.
crashed when we were removing the dice, not when they were there.
It's fine.
So the
No,
dice
it
to keep
crashed
evolution's
about
computer
3
stable.
minutes ago, and
It just caught up.
yeah.
Wow,
Okay,
TaleSpire,
it
well
says
done.
waiting on GM, so I'm going to leave the session.
Yes. I'm loading it back up now.
Hooray!
If we're just waiting on GM, surely when you turn back up, it'll be fine.
It should do, yeah. I'm not sure, but it should do.
I'm going to use
Gonna
myself for
rejoin in.
science.
Okay. No dice. Alright.
Right.
We gotta let Ed choose miniature.
Yes. So,
Did we mention that this game is an early access work in progress?
Did we mention that all of us are like this?
okay. So that is your choice numero uno for...
Are there any men out of interest?
Well, I did say it was choice number 1, not your only choice.
I know. Jesus.
Right,
bro.
let's see.
Tiny
I
fucking
can give
gender.
you...
I'm just going to start macking off with the barbarian.
Alright.
I can give you
Knight.
wizened old spellcaster wizard man.
Oh, he's fun.
I can give you Gandalf, essentially.
Out of interest, is there, like... Can we have a look at what one of the commoners looks like?
One of the commoners. Okay.
Because I don't know if it's, like, ordinary clothes commoner or, like, rags from Monty Python commoner.
I also don't think there's any fucking tieflings in that.
Oh.
Oh, I'll take him.
You'll take him?
Yeah,
Take
big
him.
bloke.
There you go.
I will
Gandalf
also
just
take an
jumped
elf
up when I
that's
said that,
available.
so I don't think he liked that.
Well, Gandalf died, so, you know.
Murder.
He'll come
Murder.
back.
That's how
Most
you're making
foul.
the decisions for the both of us.
Rip.
Okay. So we have so far, we have axe-wielding barbarian, which is Sarin, a commoner, which is Ed. Right.
A flamboyant skeleton?
So,
Do a little
Aluka,
dance.
I think you know exactly which one I'm
A
going to suggest
flamboyant
for you.
skeleton? I am not allowed to say anything.
Come, brother,
rip.
let us wiggle.
I've been sworn to secrecy. You're just wiggling. I love that. Alright.
There you go,
Yeah,
Aluka.
I figured.
I mean, it's literally
only
the
jester.
only jester in the entire
Only
pack.
Chester. I'm sad because he's not yellow.
Look, you get a knife. Be happy.
I
You know, that
understand.
could be... Those
Stabby,
emotes can be
stabby.
used for a great rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Here I come.
Okay. Okay. And last but not least, we need to find
Oh god,
a
oh
good
my god.
tiefling for... okay, let's see.
Oh wow, I'm short as shit. Look at that.
You can take people out at the knees.
I mean, I'm short like this in real life.
Okay, so
Darren?
here is option 1 for you,
Darren,
Lady
double click
Sarah.
my guy.
Rose.
Ooh.
Close the menu.
How did I end up over here?
Ed?
I can't even. If you
Eh?
double click the commoner, you'll be able to zoom to me. I can't even see the
Eh?
Pantheon.
Ed? Where'd you go?
I don't know.
Ed? Speak to me, Ed.
And there's option 2 for you, Rose. There are very few tiefling options, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Both, depending on personality.
And that's option 3.
My god, the green one is your personality.
We're discussing with both sides of the personality. Hold on a second.
I think it's that way.
Oh, wait,
My
there
God.
is a 4th option for you, Lady Saren.
The 4th is a nope.
Ed. Ed!
Ed, go west.
Go
Which
west.
way's west?
There's a
Oh,
little
okay.
compass in the lower left.
Thank you.
We're thinking number 1, please.
Number 1. Okie dokie.
Go
The
south a
rest
bit.
die.
Nope, throw the character flop.
Go south a bit.
Oh,
Alright,
she's
stop
going.
moving. Go west again.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I love how this is split into character discussion and giving Ed directions.
I mean,
So-
I am just violently wiggling at Lady Saren.
We all have our miniatures. Now,
Hang on, stop moving. I gotta see where you are. Almost there. Keep going
going
west
that
a
direction.
bit.
I can see the Pantheon.
We're giving it direction. You can see how exasperated Lucian is because for once there's face cam.
Hello.
Hey, he made it!
Hey, welcome back.
I don't
well,
know how I
welcome
left.
back to the Pantheon. Right.
Welcome to hell.
I'm going in here where I can't just ping off into the distance. Bring my assless chaps in here.
Buddy inside.
Oh, you are actually wearing assless chaps. That is... Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Booty ass behavior.
I'm pretty sure chaps just are assless by design, but it's fun
I mean,
to say.
yeah, technically. Right. So, it is time to roll your statistics. Now, some of you have already done this, some of you have not.
Oh boy.
That is, either way, it's fine.
Where is this one?
So, we are going to start with Ed. Ed is going to roll first.
You're going to need to tell me what methodology is being used, mate.
4d6 drop 1, I take it?
What?
4d6
Exactly.
to drop 1 for, like, strength dex con. Is that what you're doing?
That was my question.
Well, we're
Yeah.
going by standard D&D rules, so...
There's 3 standard.
There's three
There's
standard
3 standard options. There's 3.
Why are there three standard options?
Say 4d6 drop 1, there we go.
Yeah, 4d6 drop 1.
drop 1. Yeah,
Okay.
46 drop 1. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
all I needed to hear. Huh.
Dice load. 13.
Okay. And assign those as you wish on your character sheet.
I'm going to store them for now and assign them once I've got them, if that's cool.
That's fine.
So hang on, it's been a while since I made a character sheet. What's going on?
When you roll those 4d6, you're going to drop the lowest number that it rolls there, and then you're going to put that into either strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Okay.
You want to do that based on what class you've chosen, so a barbarian, you're probably going to want to put your highest number in strength.
Yeah.
You also get racial benefits, so whatever your racial benefits are, they add to that larger number.
As a human, I get +1 to all.
I see. So there you go. And then we'll go into the little number when we get there.
And one last one.
F.
Good.
Okay. And
It was like a
remove that
charisma
dice
score.
card.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, I'll be keying those in as we go.
Okay.
Alright, that's fine. Next up, Aluka.
Okay. 2, 3, 4. 16 minus 2. 14. 1, 2, 4. 14 minus 2, that's a 12. 1, 2, 4. 9 minus 1, that's an 8. Let me just check real quick how many of these I need to do. I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Get out of here. I will say the soothing wave noises in the background have done nothing to quell the fact that I would like to do Dark Dice Cloud again, will say. That's an 11. 4. 17. That's nice. 17 minus 3 is 14? By the way, if nobody's checking my math, you might want to do that. 4.
You know the math shows up, right?
Yeah, but then I have to subtract.
Yeah, you have to take away
17!
Nice! You have to take away the lowest die.
Yeah. Okay. So that is my 6 stats. I'm gonna go ahead and add those into mine. And if you want to move on, that's fine. That was an insanely good roll for most of those.
Apparently I
Saren,
need a
give us a
notepad.
roll.
Give you a roll. Oh boy.
Well,
1,
give us
2,
several
3,
rolls,
4.
you know.
Well, that's gonna be my intelligence score. What was that, 10?
I believe
Oof.
That's gonna be 13. Let's put that for now.
Wait, there are soothing wave noises?
12.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are like gentle soothing waves noises in the background.
If you make sure to be watching the screen share that I am running in Discord.
Oh.
12.
I always forget what I attack with.
Bye. They're gone. Oh my goodness.
You suck.
I'm going to go ahead and put the homebrew class that I am using in both Lucian's Twitch chat. If I don't get shot for links, I don't think I do.
Oh
I
my
don't.
goodness.
No, you don't.
10.
And
These are not good
Shadows of
scores.
Sorcery. See, this is why we told you to make the second character.
Well, actually, the reason that I told you to make a second character is, well,
Plan on killing
you'll
us.
find out eventually, I'm sure.
There's
Oh,
the
that's
death
fun.
trap.
Oh.
Alright, that is all 6.
Okay.
Are we not rolling hit point die as well right away?
First level, you start with it maxed, as far as I'm aware.
That is
yes,
correct.
first level you start with the max, so
It should
no need
be
to roll
max
it at the
plus.
moment.
It should be max plus your con bonus.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So
What
I've
is
got a
max?
9.
And last but not
Whatever
least,
your...
Rose.
Yeah.
It'll be under hit points in your class features.
So if you've got like a hit die that's a D10, it'll be 10.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I have noticed,
The first
Rose,
level.
is that your character sheet is currently quite empty.
I did the
Do we-
best I could.
You want to go through it with us? Because we can do that.
Am I rolling?
Yes.
What do I cast spells with?
Okay. So that's 13. Right. Okay, this... Yes, this is fine. Rose, can you reiterate to me the your character's class and name, please?
Our class is a... Oh, hold on here. Sorcerer. Sorry, we are a sorcerer tiefling. And the name is... Nithiri and Nathala.
Okay. Just making sure that your character sheet on the Google Drive is up to date. Okay. Yes, I'm running a game, Alexander. Right. What are you? What scores? Words. I can words. Yes. Okay, what dice scores do you have at the moment?
Okay, the ones that I have seen and rolled were 13, 11, 8, and 7. 17, sorry, the last one's 17.
Okay. Once you've finished rolling those, inform me as to which is going where.
You said it was a sorcerer?
Yes.
Okay, so...
Also, were those with the lowest of the d6s taken off? Because my brain's hurting now.
Yes, I believe so. Because the first roll was 14 minus 1,
Yes.
13. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Sorcerers cast their spells with charisma, so you probably want to make charisma your highest. Would be my recommendation.
Oh, yes.
Although, yeah.
And do not forget about Constitution.
Yeah. And you should have a +2 as a tiefling to charisma as well. Because I'm also a tiefling. Not that you can fucking tell.
Nice.
Somewhere under all that hat.
There's Big Hat.
There is indeed Big Hat.
He is literally just wearing a jester's outfit that doesn't have anything on it.
Ability scores. Let's start with strength. What are you putting into strength, Rose? Which of these dice rolls is going into strength? Oh god, the ominous dice are back.
The ominous dice.
That is...
Rip.
That is a little disturbing. I'm gonna be honest, those dice are a little disturbing.
If you have a number that is under a 10, it's a negative by the same amount, right? -1, I think, would be for my strength if I got an 8. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Okay, so 10 plus...
I forgot to add my race bonuses, so I'm just going to do that quickly.
Go ahead. And plus con. I have 11 hit points.
Rose, if you're talking, I can't hear you at the moment.
Nope, we weren't talking, sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, what are you putting into your ability scores? Because
Okay, strength we put as 13. Dex is 11. Con is 16. That was with the character bonus. Intelligence is 8. We ain't smart. Wisdom is 10. And charisma is 19 with the bonus.
19 with the bonus. Wow, okay.
There's 2 of us in this head. I'd better be charismatic.
I have
okay.
I have a 16 in charisma and a 17 in a dexterity, so it do be like
Nice.
that sometimes.
Right. Okay. Are you guys ready to find out where you'll be, quote-unquote, landing, as it were?
If you give me 10 seconds to finish my math, because I'm still doing math, even though I went second, because sometimes you're an idiot in life.
Yeah, as I was looking over my character sheet, I realized I didn't select my class skill proficiencies, so I'm like, whoopsie.
Everybody has their skill proficiencies and a background, correct?
Oh wait, no, that's the other guy. No, that's fine.
Sure.
What, no?
You guys have added a background as well? And
What's
your
a
background
background?
stats? So in D&D, you get to choose a background to your character. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know, for instance, Guy's background is a criminal, which gives him a thieves kit, and then 2 more proficiencies under his skill.
Oh, shit, that's what... Okay, so I was looking at that,
Yeah.
and I was looking at going with the variant Gladiator.
Okay, so let me pull up Gladiator for you.
Hang on, okay, that's what that was.
Yep. You are going to add to your proficiencies... Here.
Hang on, I'm pulling it. Where the hell is it? It's...
Oh, great.
Dark Sun.
We might have found what you can add your last Twitch button to, which is starting a gladiatorial fight by popular demand.
Oh, that's good. I'd love to do that. Your skills you're going to add to are acrobatics and performance.
So hang on, I'm proficient in acrobatics.
Yeah, so those little skills,
And-
you just fill in acrobatics and performance, and then you're going to add a +2 to all of your... Actually, no, your proficiency bonus. You have to add your proficiency bonus to all of the pluses that you have underneath, like dexterity and constitution.
Also, Lucian, when we're no longer waiting on GM, can I roll 4d4, please, for my money?
4d4, I will roll that for you, actually.
Okay.
And
Just like
sorry,
a
I'm adding +2 to
override.
what now?
Okay, so on your sheet, do you see where it says proficiency bonus?
7.
Yeah,
Okay. What is that number?
it's +2.
Okay, so let's say you're proficient in acrobatics. That's your dex. So you add the little number underneath your dexterity, and then +2, and you're proficient in it, so you can make more arguments to like be like, I have advantage.
It already does that. When you click the pip to say you're proficient in it, it adds the +2 automatically.
There you go. Fancy.
So that's why I like the Excel sheet here, because there is some back-end coding.
Yes, I do like that Excel sheet. I'm just doing paper so I can do math. And erase it. But
Okay, so
That's
I
it.
add that proficiency, but then I got to add things to my kit, don't I?
to your equipment, you're going to add a disguise kit and one type of musical instrument.
Or no, there's a choice for a variant gladiator.
The variant for gladiator is...
I could choose
Weird weapon or something like that.
I could choose a trident or a net.
I see. Okay.
Well, it's an unusual weapon such as trident or a net. You could pick
Yeah.
just a weird one.
You get a disguise kit, one type of musical instrument, an inexpensive but unusual weapon, a favor of an admirer, and a belt pouch containing 15 coins. And then you get the feature by popular demand.
And costume clothes.
Yep.
You get a wrestler's outfit.
Yes, I've used the gladiator background with a multi-class rogue barbarian to do wrestlers, which would have been my second
Yes,
character
Crimson.
had I
I'm
not
DMing
already made
today.
one.
Alright, I need to work this into a character sheet. Give me a minute here to
Good.
read something.
Does everybody else have their background already set
No,
up
we
on the
don't.
sheet and stuff? Okay.
We are quickly doing that.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting money from their background. I got 1 silver piece.
What's your background?
Haunted one.
Ah, I see. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said we get 7 gold, Lucian?
Well, Ed gets 7 gold because that's what
Okay.
I rolled for him.
That was for the backup character. Thank you.
May I have money?
Yes. You may
Queen.
you may roll for, well, actually I'll roll for
I
money.
cannot roll. I cannot roll for it.
I can roll for you, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with Isaac, I went with the pick A, B, or C of your starting equipment. With the other one, it's like, I want money.
Well, this sort of makes sense.
How low did you roll for me?
You mean how
How
high?
low
I
did you
rolled
roll
a
for me, Dick?
14 for you.
Good. Good. I have 29 gold.
Nice.
I got so much money.
I was like, okay, this sort of makes sense. This is a thing.
Yeah. So we've got a slightly underfunded jester, a very underfunded cleric, and the character he's not playing has like 95 gold just rolling around. God damn it.
Oh dear.
Damn you, Isaac.
Zakardi, yes, my character class is quite intriguing. It is a jester class with the criminal background, and I have built some stuff for the next following levels, that will come to play later. It's a special little treat to surprise everyone later.
Also, Lucian, I haven't rolled for my character's base gold value. I don't know what that is. I have the belt pouch from the skill here, but I don't have.
Aluka, can you remind?
There's options depending on what class you are. You can pick from them, or you can roll your starting gold.
I would just go ahead and roll the starting gold the same way that you rolled for me and Ed, and just do it that way because it's much simpler to control.
Yeah.
Although I will say, Saren's background should give him 15
Starting
gold.
gold for Saren is 13.
So it's
plus
13
The
plus
roll
15.
is 13, yeah. So
I was going to say the
28.
starting equipment, I think, was where you already got that great axe and 2 hand axes you were talking about before.
That is correct.
Okay, so I think we figured out our
starting gold
background.
to our starting equipment rather than or our starting equipment. Can I also have starting gold for Isaac?
Your
yes.
background should be where you get the first part of that.
No, it's cleric.
Okay, so that is also 13 for you, for Isaac.
Was that
Ed.
5d4?
4d4. Hold on, let me roll an extra one. Make that 15.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
Lucian's chat is talking about 3.5e, which is very, very close to my heart because that's actually where I started playing D&D. And I've only gone insane.
I started on D&D. Well, actually, I started on AD&D 2nd edition, so you know, long time ago.
It was very customizable, but also insane.
Yeah.
I just love how in the space of one decision of, can I have some starting money, please, Mr. DM? We've gone from me being the poorest with 1 silver piece to having 150 gold.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that works. That fits.
Yeah.
Apparently, the church is quite well funded, better than I thought.
What is?
I'm sorry, that's not unusual.
It's a fantasy setting. I don't know.
Lady Saren character squared. What was the background you chose?
I think they're still working on it.
Let's see.
Lady Saren character squared.
Hold on.
Character squared.
I love
It's
it.
funny because it's true.
Alright, so I can't find the disguise kit as item on the item list here, so I can't tell how much.
It is literally just the words like disguise kit, and then if you need to like actually find the disguise kit and what's in it, it's like cosmetics and hair dye. It just basically.
Would it be clothes costume?
No, it's
It weighs
probably
3
not going to be
pounds
on
and
there
costs
as anything
25
but
gold.
disguise kit.
I'm sorry, those 2 people there. What?
If you're looking on the Excel sheet, it's probably under just disguise kit, and if it's not there, it basically just, you should be able to write it in. It's just you making the argument to Lucian, like, if you're wanting to disguise your barbarian in-game, that it's something you can do.
Just like tell me
but
you have a disguise kit and I'll take it.
Trying to find the weight of it to add it to my
3
bag.
pounds.
So.
Are we doing weight calculations?
I would not worry about weight calculations. Screw the weight calculations.
Discorded it to you, by the way, Saren, just in case.
Like, yeah. I'm not worried about weight calculations. I'm gonna be honest.
Thank God.
Weight calculations are a nightmare.
Yeah, like that's
like
not
asking-
something I'm gonna make you guys deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
start getting strength involved and all that shit, and how much you can push or how much you can carry, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
or like
no.
the concept of like,
Like,
oh, I just want to put this in my
I am
bag. and
going
it's like, you don't have a bag
I am going to
holding.
need you guys to like keep track of spell reagents, for example, if they're major spell reagents. But other than that, you do not need
this
to
is
worry
why
about it.
holy symbols and casting focuses exist.
Yeah.
Yep. I do not have
Um,
any spell reagents, despite the fact that I am technically a spellcaster class.
I don't use any until the spell specifically goes like, oh, you need a diamond.
Which would be for if you
Yeah.
had to revive any of us. Which,
Yes,
by the way, thank you for
die.
playing the healer.
Who said I was the healer? I'm just a cleric.
Thank you for playing the healer.
Oh boy.
Maybe don't piss off the guy whose life is in your hands, or your life is in his hands, rather.
Well, your life is
All
in my
our
hands
lives are
if
in
you
all
don't
our
stick
hands,
behind us.
technically.
Oh boy.
I mean, my life was in you guys' hands when I got lost to the void.
Yeah. Come back to us, Ed. Come back to us.
Fucking poofed out. I don't even know how I did that. The
I
mini
just
just
saw
went
your
flying.
character go flying, yeah.
Oh dear.
I think the
Alright.
mouse
Right.
does not respect perspective, and so just
How
zoomed in.
are we feeling about our setup so far?
Laughable.
Does everyone feel like they've got their character sheet done?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out what to, because I just read the rule book here, and it's I could choose a unique weapon instead of a musical instrument, but I think I'm just gonna stick with the fact that my great axe is also a 3-string like guitar, and I'll just during my downtime I play music on it. That's it.
Love that idea.
Because I mean, it works. It's there.
Well, it means that you can always keep yourself entertained.
We are
when you're
doing
out
5e,
lumberjacking.
yes, Sir Acty.
Pretty much. I mean, it's hard to
Sitting around
play
the
it
campfire,
and
strumming on your axe.
yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
back.
Lucian, would you mind looking over our character sheet to make sure that everything's filled out right?
Well, currently your character sheet is rather, well, quite literally empty. If you're talking about the Excel sheet, for me it's empty.
Give the page a refresh, perhaps.
Oh, because they're working on the Excel sheet on my sister's computer.
Oh, but it's still...
But you're the one that's logged in, see?
Yes, Sicardi, we are doing 5e.
I am replying to chat. I'm just not pushed to talk when I reply. Don't worry.
Lucian,
Okay.
it's not
Yes.
under... It's not under Pinky's,
Player assets folder.
Soothing wave noises really help, I think.
Okay, hang on.
So I just added myself to the Google Sheet.
One moment. Okay. I see. I see what's happened here.
Never mind, they did some, like, Google Chrome voodoo.
No, what's happened here is Rose has been filling out the template sheet in the main folder, not the character sheet under the player assets folder. It's fine.
I see.
It's easily fixable. It's literally just a case of they filled out the wrong sheet. It's fine. It's
No.
not a problem.
This is there's an asset. Never mind. You're still filling out the right sheet because you were filling out the previous D&D sheet. That was in a link that was different.
I'm going to make a massive dice cloud.
It's fine.
Okay.
Right.
We've got it figured out.
Like-
We've got the character sheet figured out.
Yeah, I was wondering why people were talking about the character sheet being filled out when I couldn't find the character sheet. But that's just because of my organization stuff. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this all looks pretty good. Yeah, okay. Have we rolled the gold for
You have not rolled the gold for them,
We have
and
not
I
rolled the gold.
believe...
Oh my god, please stop with the ominous dice. The ominous dice cause major problems. Literally. Like, they crash the game, major problems.
You know, I can remove them while they're still hovering. It's okay.
Why is there...
We just leave them there,
Words.
ominously twitching.
I do really like the ominously twitching dice. It's very entertaining.
It kind of looks like a really, really mathematical beholder.
Jester, were you the tiefling as well?
Yes.
Do we get any bonuses to our hit points?
You should, for your hit points, be adding your con bonus. So take a d10, or... Actually, I think it's a d10 for you, first. Nope, sorcerers are squishy. Hang on. What's the hit dice for a sorcerer? I have my big, wonderful book sitting next to me with all
It's
of the
a
little
D6.
tabs in it. It's a d6. So you are
boy.
going to add 6 plus your Constitution modifier. So that's the little number directly under Constitution.
So we add that to the 9?
Not this session, Alexander.
Your constitution is
Maybe
9?
another session, but not this session.
No, Constitution is +3.
Okay, so you're gonna add 3 to 6, and you're going to have a 9. And that is your hit points.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
So with the exception of Saren, if anyone coughs on us, we're dead.
I have an 11, but a 16 in armor. I'll be okay.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Wait,
I
what?
also have a 16 in armor, but it's shielding and 9 HP.
Oh,
The
boy.
exception of what now?
With the
What did I
exception
do?
of the barbarian. Because barbarians
Oh,
just naturally have lots of hit points.
Yep.
I mean, I have 13 hit points.
My dude,
Okay.
you can't
Are
help
we
but
ready?
start with more than I have.
We're going to have to be ready. Everybody ready?
We've got no choice. Let's go!
Personally, I'm greedy.
Okay. Well, I have a little bit of an intro story prepared for you all.
And I was a young warthog.
Oh,
Shut up, Sarah.
God. Summon players to the board. This board will take a little bit to load for you guys, don't worry. It's quite large. In the meantime, I'm going to read to you the scriptures of the Septim, the origin. So this is the story of, well, sort of the story of the world, but it's more a story of the gods that created this world. In the beginning, there was one, Vetic, first lord of creation, sprang forth from the heart of a collapsing star. Using the debris of the star, Vetic created the Septim, 7 gods that would reign over a dying universe, to either see to its conclusion or save it from destruction. First, there was Valis, god of creation and chaos. The first and eldest of his siblings, Valis saw the dying universe and felt remorse, for he saw the brevity of mortal life. Using the empty husks of dead planets, Valis created new worlds for mortals to inhabit. Second came Metano, god of order and time. Metano saw the sands of the universe running thin and flipped the hourglass, extending its life just a little longer. But the glass cracked more with every turn, and sand leaked from the hourglass, causing a silent decay. Third was Demani, god of nature and growth. Upon Valis's new worlds she strode, spreading energy in the dirt. She called upon the rains and the winds to grow her saplings and spread her seeds far and wide, to provide the lands for eons to come. Fourth was Tenna, god of life, hearth, and protection. Tenna, though the smallest of her siblings, was by no means powerless. She saw the unsheltered forms of mortal beings and taught them to build homes, from nests and burrows to cottages and carved caverns. It is said Tenna sits by the hearth of every home, watching over the mortals. Fifth and sixth were Invict and Calist, twin gods with very different purposes. Invict saw mortals' beings and their potential, and gifted them the wisdom and the knowledge to create of their own volition, to choose their own path. Calist, in turn, shredded the ether and gave mortals access to the realm of magic, allowing it to coalesce in their world. But Calist also coveted wealth above all else, so to those who she deemed worthy, she bestowed the power of sorcery, the innate ability to harness the ether and call forth magic with neither spell nor stone. Seventh and last came Benor, god of war, violence, and destruction. Shunned by his 6 siblings, Benor fed on the dregs of mortal fear and anger. He swore the destruction of his siblings and the universe they presided over, and in his name mortals conquered and killed. With every death, Matano's hourglass cracks a little more.
Wow.
Welcome to the land of Avoria. And in this specific instance, welcome to the Delmane Isle.
Is anyone else getting a fog of war? Oh, there it goes.
Oh, now it's back.
Nope, we're good.
Yay.
Pretty well timed.
Hi there.
Hello.
There's a goose.
Welcome to Delmane Isle, home of Lord Meticrow. The four of you have been summoned by Lord Meticrow to deal with an infestation. The letter that you have received did not detail much more than that. You stand on a pier as you watch the cargo ship that brought you here sail away, the mining vessel that it is, sail off into the distance. And at the pier stands a very, very short, very grumpy-looking halfling, who does not seem particularly pleased to be here. What would you like to do?
Oh, gonna step over all these people. Okay. Ah. You there!
Oh, that looks great.
The puppeteering is going to be fantastic.
And just falls over.
I get knocked down as they pass.
Fucking dead.
Took me out at the knees, you bastard. You there!
Fun.
Where might I
Hold
find...
Alt and scroll wheel to turn.
Ah, thank you.
Or yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Sorry.
hold Alt and just aim around, and you'll
Sorry,
be able
Darren.
to turn. Okay. Right. now that that's been figured
Darren. We cut
out,
off you off, sorry.
Taryn, what were you saying?
Where might I find this person? And I hold up the letter with the name.
The halfling stares up at you with a rather dull expression on his face. He doesn't seem particularly pleased to see you, to say the very least. He looks at the letter, and he looks at your companions, and he goes, "You must be here to deal with Lord Meticrow's infestation problem. He is just up the path. You can find him over there. Do be warned, though. He is not in a good mood. I wouldn't anger him any more than he already has been. Please don't make too much of a fuss. I've had to clean up this area of the island several times this week already, and I would rather not have to deal with any more messes." He, the hobbit, well, the halfling, rather, walks off down the dock and starts scrubbing at the muddy footprints that have been left there.
Oh, it seems we have a very particular assignment here. I'm here to get paid. Let's get this done with.
It also
Someone with anger
seems we
issues?
have.
My kind of person.
I like
It
people
also
to the
seems we
point.
have a more particular host, so perhaps we should watch our footing.
On the way, just casually asking, who was tracking mud out of interest?
As you walk up to the
wasn't
the
mud.
gates of the manor,
Hi, Gandalf.
there is a rather large manor that you have all realised is presiding over the island. You see a figure at the gates. I would like you all to roll me a perception check.
Oh, where's my
we are gonna have to take some turns doing this.
Oh no!
Otherwise
I'm
the
gonna
dice
roll
will
a
collide.
realist. I'm gonna roll my dice IRL.
That is
Perception
fair.
check. That's. I also get a bonus of perception. No, I don't.
If Lucian, if you are indeed chill with IRL
That's my
rolling,
other
just to
character.
save myself
Oh,
cluttering
no!
the build.
Are you good with? Oh, okay. Well, are
you
you
can
good with IRL
IRL
rolling?
roll if you want. Like, just inform me of your dice rolls, obviously.
Yeah,
I
no,
have gotten a 14.
Okay.
We have 5 as a perception.
Actually, in fairness,
God,
you don't need to roll this, Luca, because you have insider information in this case. But
Understandable. Actually, by the way, when Guillaume walks up to this character, he is going to give them a incredibly deep bow. His nose almost touches the ground.
it's, I mean, it's a 5 total with perception, but I mean, it's a natural 2. I'm not doing so hot
okay,
here.
so Luca's character, Guillaume, or Guy, walks up to
He's just a
this.
guy.
Oh my god, my alarm's going off. It's my stream alarm. It's telling me I need to stream soon.
Perhaps.
Who knew?
But yes. Aluka, you walk up to the man who is standing at the gate and you give a very deep bow. Now, Ed and Lady Saren, you see the figure at the gate, and all you see is a very wizened old man. A very wizened old man with a very long beard, who seems particularly grumpy at the moment. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly wrong with this wizened old man. And he seems generally just annoyed. Aluka and Saren, however, as you walk up to the gates, what you see is not what your companions see. Where your companions see a wizened old wizard of some sort, you see something quite different. You see a tall, skeletal fellow with sort of wispy hair and, well, you don't really see an expression because, well, he doesn't really have a face. Now, obviously, Aluka has some form of knowledge about this person, but you do not, Saren. What you see is literally a skeleton standing at the gate, and you lot can take it from here.
Lord Meticrow, I presume.
My lord, it is nice to see you once again.
Yes.
You summoned us
thank
for
you.
a job?
Yes. Thank you all for coming on such short notice. I apologize for such inordinate summonings. But, well,
The
times,
situation demands it.
Quiet, Boo. Not now.
yes. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Guillaume turns to your character, Saren, and you can hear the distinct, really quiet jingle of bells. And that's it. And he is staring you down now.
Dear me.
You were saying so.
Yes. I have summoned you here to deal with an infestation of a particular kind. My home has been invaded by a priest. And as he says the word priest, you hear what can only be referred to as complete disgust. It's like the word priest is literally just vile in his mouth. And
I think
I
he
laugh.
means you.
I love how you slid up to me to say that.
Just wiggling around.
We're just
Oh,
wiggling.
dear.
See?
But yes.
Nithiri lets out a chuckle.
And Lord Meticrow goes on to say, my home has been desecrated by this fool of a man who has seen it fit to lay idols to tenor all over the place, and it is quite irritating. Can someone please stop moving my character around?
Oh god, I thought you were doing that. I was going to say, quick, catch him.
Follow.
And you can see above the door there is this great sort of gold ring, which a few of you recognize as being the mark of Tenor, the goddess of life. Lord Meticrow goes on, I need you to rid my home of this infestation. I cannot enter it until such a...
I finished with the dogs.
Poof.
Nithiri pushes past him to get a closer look of the symbol.
Okay. The symbol is... it's essentially a circular gold... It's a big gold ring, essentially. It has engravings of deer and other various animals around the edge of it. Essentially.
Guillaume kind of squints at it. Could you tell us about how high up that ring is?
That ring is around about... thinking about it, Lord Meticrow's about 7 feet tall, so that ring is about 25 feet off the ground.
I see. Okay.
It's very high off the ground. The door is very tall.
Yep. Okay.
Can I use my knowledge in religion to see if I know anything about it?
Yeah, sure. Although you will need to roll for that. So give me... what would work
D20
here?
plus religion.
Yeah, D20, religion, yeah, D20 on religion, so roll me a D20. An 18, nice, 18 plus 19. Okay, so, what you know about this particular artifact that others might not know is that this ring, this gold circlet that has been hung above the door, is a tenor ward, and it is specifically designed to keep out monsters and generally those of the undead persuasion.
Guillaume wanders up kind of next to you and just kind of gently taps your shoulder and goes, my lady, could I get your assistance in removing that, as soon as possible?
She looks at the hand that just tapped her as if it, was an uninvited touch. And turns back to the man who has been requesting this to be removed. And what did you do to deserve these again?
It is not really that one deserves to be kicked out of their own house, is that not true?
Excuse me, Lord Meticrow, how attached are you to the garden?
To the garden? I don't see how the garden is relevant to the infestation in my manor.
Building a staircase up to that so we can take it down.
Oh, I see. Well, I would rather you didn't damage any of the architecture of my home. Thank you very much. It's quite old at this point. It's very, very, very crumbly. My groundskeeper has been maintaining it quite well for the past few decades, and I would hate to see it damaged.
No problem.
I perhaps could do. I perhaps could climb.
I can always throw you up there.
You could most likely throw me up there, yes, but I am not sure I could remove it by my own hands.
Nithiri has offered to assist you in climbing.
I see. Alright, throw me.
Nithiri does not like this idea, but gets
What
out
am I
of the way.
rolling?
Should the barbarian not be able to do
Am
it?
I
should we
rolling?
be
Am
able
I
to
rolling
assist?
strength?
Okay, Saren, roll strength to throw Aluka.
I'm assuming that's a dex
If
check.
they don't fall.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's
Okay.
a dex check for me to be able to catch.
It's a dex check for Aluka to be able to catch the thing, but Saren needs to roll strength beforehand to allow for...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nithiri also could attempt to climb it using another dex check. Without,
That's
just-
5.
Jesus Christ.
Nithiri is going to try to catch this flying tiefling.
Okay. Am I also allowed to roll dex to make sure that I don't eat shit?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm standing in the way to catch just in case.
Kill laughs maniacally. Let's do that again. I'd like to roll
I have-
20.
I have rolled a 9. I don't know if that'll save my ass.
Why
Okay.
did I not take guidance?
I'd like to take 20 and just keep tossing him up there until he reaches.
What is your dex score, Aluka?
A 9.
No, as in,
Total.
not what you rolled. What is your actual
Oh, my
ability
dexterity is
score?
a 17.
Okay.
Oh, I'm still recovering from the ship. Leave me alone.
Technically, I could just straight up vault myself into position.
Yes. Okay, so...
That didn't work.
Uh,
That did not work.
Okay. Gilk picks you up in a hold that isn't really suited for throwing, admittedly. And, technically he picks you up by the scruff of your tunic. And
Yes.
I
attempts
don't
to...
fucking mess with
attempts to throw you from over his shoulder.
those.
Unfortunately, the angle is a little
see.
off. And instead of throwing you up, he sort of throws you horizontally and down. You do manage to recover, rolling across the ground a little bit, but you are relatively unharmed, aside from a few scrapes.
Pops up and like very quickly dusts his outfit off and then looks over to Nithiri and goes, your turn.
Yeah, at least I know I can
I
throw you
have
into
rolled.
battle.
Guys, I have rolled. Why can we not just rub the damn thing down?
Could. It was not mentioned before.
The gold circlet seems to be quite literally nailed, or rather, like hammered into the stonework at this point. You wouldn't be able to pull it down by a rope. It's like embedded. Like if you could grab it, you could probably pull it out, but you couldn't like.
Some strong hands if you're pulling out nails. Okay.
Well,
We could perhaps climb up to it and then maybe kick it down, or
Baron,
somehow
we need you
pry
for a
it
second.
loose.
from the sidelines, Lord Meticrow is watching you all with a very well. For those of you that can see his face, he looks very bemused. He looks like he's just sort of a little bit confused as to what you're trying to do, and For a moment, he just stands there, and then he goes, You know, even if you pull the ward down, I won't be able to enter my home. There is still a priest in there that is causing havoc. I hate to think what my gargoyles are doing at this point.
I assumed you perhaps might want to wait in your foyer while we attacked this, foreign entity.
Lord
just trying to ruin the
Meticrow
whole
gestures gently. Even with the ward taken down, I still will not be able to enter. It is why I have my accommodations in the chapel over there. It is impossible
Netheri interrupts
until...
him. Netheri interrupts him. If the ward is not the issue and the priest is outside, why are we wasting our time by standing out here and talking? And she kicks the door in and walks inside.
She kicks the door in. Okay, give me a strength check to kick the door in.
Kicking through me? Okay.
Oh boy.
We'll move over here then.
Yeah,
out of the way.
roll me a d20.
Also, Aluka, Fluffle's having a hard time hearing you. Can you just say a few things to...
Test. Sound
I can
check.
hear you
You
now.
rolled a fucking 2.
I am so fucking mad!
You rolled
did
a
not roll a
fucking
2.
2.
Is the door made what's the door made out of? Is the door made out of wood?
It
The
better
door
be made out of
is
cardboard.
made out of incredibly sturdy dark oak. Also,
So I rolled a 3 by technically.
Good job.
yeah,
Just
so
gonna
you
start from the sidelines
attempt
and
to
watch
kick
this.
the door down, and in the... Unfortunately...
In, not down, in.
Okay, you attempt to kick the door in, and it doesn't budge. It's literally a 20-foot tall dark oak door with iron bracing.
In a moment of
And-
shame, she just tries to push the door open, hoping nobody noticed it.
And I'm gonna have to say, in the process of kicking it, it did hurt a little bit. Please take 1 point of damage.
Oh boy.
1
But
point
that-
of embarrassment.
Yeah.
1 point of damage for attempting to kick in a door and failing that you actually could have literally just pushed open.
Good job.
Pushed
Well,
or pulled open? There's a difference.
Technically pulled open there because
Yeah.
it opens
Please,
outwards,
hate
not inwards. Yeah.
Guillaume kind of just looks back at the Lord, and then looks into the area, and then just kind of does like a very gentle, like, you know, like after you motion for everybody else.
Let's just get going.
Right. You have entered Meticrow Manor.
Oh, God. There we go.
So,
Ta-da!
what's Skullface afraid of in here?
There's a priest in here.
What?
There is a
I'm
priest.
asking in character.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There is a priest.
So
We must
if
find
you're
him.
asking in character, then definitely... excuse me, what?
Skullface.
The Lord Meticrow.
Okay, I mean, I know he's old, but... Alright then.
Guy's a
see.
literal undead.
Well, you know.
Blaze an undead.
Let's have a little respect for the elderly, okay?
Are
Guillaume
you
just kinda
blind,
looks-
man?
Guillaume just kind of looks over at your character, whose name is not on screen, so I do not know it.
Gilk.
Yoke. He kind of just like shrugs a little bit. It's just kind of like a drop it.
Okay. You enter the foyer of the manor.
And it goes.
To your left is a single door. You don't know where it leads. To your right, there are 2 doors. You don't know where those lead either. In front of you is a rather large staircase, and behind that staircase there are a pair of doors. that you don't know where those lead either.
Would you
Roll
like to try
initiative.
taking down many of these?
Roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
This is, if we are going to have a fight here, I'm going to have to
Well-
find out where to put my character that I can actually see it.
Beside me, so I can throw you.
What do you mean
Cannot
so
see
that you
that.
can see
No
it?
more throwing.
There's like railing in my way. Is there a way to like do a top-down angle?
Yeah, if you hold middle mouse button
Middle mouse
and
click.
yeah, move it around.
Middle mouse click, you can pan the camera around. Also, the
Middle
green
mouse
slider.
It's not helped me in that endeavor.
Also, the
I'll
the
use
green
ground
slider
hammer,
on the
I'm gonna go
side
for it.
will
Okay, that means-
will remove layers from top down as you slide it down.
Do I need to perhaps go? Nope, that's not. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I can't get it to do a top-down. Bear with me.
Can you?
Hmm.
Might
You
have
may need to
look-
middle click the button and then the little green scrolly thing along the side, move it to almost the basement.
I'm trying. My middle mouse click is, not really that much of one. Okay.
I see.
That is field of view of some grass. I see a character. How do I turn off field of view again?
Double click. Wait, what do you mean field of view?
It's
Depth.
very blurry.
Yeah, just
field of
double
depth.
click on the ground with
There we
your
go.
right mouse button. Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of going to work.
But
I
yeah.
do not have the same angle that Lucian has somehow.
Yeah, I'm using my middle mouse button to rotate round the camera at the moment.
Let me see if I can get the camera to go completely top down. The vertical angle? Okay. Alright, that'll have to be good enough. There we go.
Okay.
D20 plus Dex ignition.
Yes. I think so. D20 plus dexterity.
Yes.
Being a totes of 7.
Okay.
14.
Saren, how much did you roll?
Hang on.
I think you rolled a 2.
How
I rolled a
how
2.
I get littered with dice.
Okay. Plus dex is 15.
We've got 4 dice on the lawn. We've got 1 dice in the foyer now.
That's turnabout.
Okay.
It's the priest and sentient dice.
So, highest roll goes first. Rose, what have you rolled for initiative? Roll a d20.
I'm gonna have to roll again because I don't even remember. We had like insanity there for a moment. 1 second.
Yeah, that's fine. Rolled a 9. Okay. It looks like Rose is going first. As you enter the foyer, you look around and it's fairly darkly lit, dingy, little bit of a gothic air to the whole place. And as you enter, you hear a screech, and from the upper echelons of the manor spring down a pair of gargoyles. Massive stone beasts with wings that seem rather intent on, protecting their territory, as it were. And they don't seem particularly interested in letting you live. Right. On the subject of initiative, let me quickly roll 15 and 4. Okay. So,
At least something rolled worse than us.
Only
Okay.
one of them.
So can you guys reiterate for me your current initiative scores.
14.
7.
Okay, so Rose goes first, followed by Sarin, followed by...
How do I get to go? I rolled a 2.
You rolled a 2, but it's plus your dexterity. I think.
So 3.
Is that correct? Oh, yeah, never mind.
I was going to say, he'd have to have a 5 dex to be on
Yeah.
set for
Yeah,
that.
sorry. No, it's Rose first, then the first gargoyle, then Aluka, then Ed, then the second gargoyle, and finally Sarin.
I see.
That sounds more likely.
That
Yes.
sounds
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
You are face down with these gargoyles, which, from information that you have learned, you know they belong to Lord Meticrow. But they don't seem to care about that. In fact, they don't seem to care whether to distinguish between friend or foe at all. What would you like to do?
Is it turn order, or is it what would you like to do?
It's turn order. Rose,
Yeah.
what would you like to do?
Nithiri, putting a hand on her staff but not readying it yet, tries to indicate to the gargoyles that she's not here for them. She's here to assist in their master.
The gargoyle on the left, which honestly you can't really tell which one is the brighter of the two. They're both made of rock. Doesn't really indicate anything. The gargoyle on the left screeches at you. A very sort of strangled, rocky sort of screeching sound, like metal screeching down a chalkboard. Essentially, it's not a particularly pleasant sound. It also seems to be fairly aggressive.
That's the DM giving you a second chance to hit the monster.
So Nithiri shrugs and goes, "Fine," and reaches over to hit it with her quarterstaff.
Okay. Roll me, what is it? It's a quarterstaff, which is, roll me 1d6.
20 to hit plus proficiency.
20 to hit.
No, that's
and
damage.
then
That's
one.
damage.
Yeah, right, damage second,
That's damage.
hit first.
It
Roll,
is a
roll me a
20.
d20.
Yep.
Just drop that somewhere.
2. 2.
For the love of all that's good.
Oh
boy.
my god.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Don't worry about rolling damage.
Get
As
rid of these dice.
Yas them and roll higher.
right.
6.
You okay, so let's get positioning. Right, there we go. You lunge for the... Which one are you attacking? Left or right?
Let's go the one that shrieked.
Okay, so the one on the left. You lunge for the one on the left with your quarterstaff, but at the last second, the gargoyle dodges backwards, and it seems like he just looks angrier than anything else. As your quarterstaff swipes past its face and narrowly misses, and hits the floor with a thud, the gargoyle lunges forward and tries to swipe at you with its claws, and misses, thankfully.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
It's as its claws reach out towards you, it sort of overestimates its own reach, it seems, and it doesn't quite manage to swipe at you. Right. Next up, Aluka. What would you like to do?
Guillaume is going to kind of dart forward next to the second... Oh, I've somehow fucked my field of view again. There we go. Dart forward next to the left gargoyle, and he's going to essentially snap his fingers in its face. And it's going to do... Let's see here. It's going to roll me a saving throw. No, wait, not a saving throw. Sorry, this is the other one. I have two things written down, and that was the wrong one. Range, spell attack. Range, spell attack. I've rolled a natural 20, and I can't take a picture of it. I will not touch my desk or anything. I will also roll a game if that's how my dice want to be to me, but... I've rolled a natural 20. I am casting Eldritch Blast, and it's 1d10 force damage. Let me get out a d10.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure 20 hits. I'm sorry.
Rip.
I can never remember how the hell range works with ranged spell attacks, because I know you can't fire at crossbows have, like, shit.
I have a range of 120 feet for Eldritch Blast.
No, I get that. I just know that crossbows have some bollocks about, like, if you're 5 feet, it's a problem.
I have no idea about that. I'm going to go ahead and put the d10 in the game so that it doesn't give me big numbers. I'm gonna do 6 damage.
Okay. The gargoyle stumbles back, clutching at its face from being Eldritch Blasted, like, right in its face, considering where you're standing. It moves back a little, and you can see cracks starting to appear up its torso. It is cracking, surprisingly. Right. Next up, Ed.
So you guys have got the one on the left. I'm probably going to go for the one on the right. Let me just quickly double check. I do not want to use... No, I will not be using Sacred Flame in here. That does not sound like a good idea.
Sounds like
Thank
fun.
you, Steve-O. I saw TaleSpire.
So I'm just going to instead,
this.
he's picked up the shield, is ready to go, and just going to cock the casting pistol at it and blank fire Toll the Dead. So it needs to make me a whiz save.
Well, roll it.
You have to make the whiz save.
Oh, right, sorry. What is that? Is that a... Okay.
I had to make a ranged spell attack over a save, but this is a whiz save.
Okay, that is a 6.
It
Well...
is not beating 11.
Yeah.
Right, in which case, it takes... It's not been wounded yet, so it will just take 1d8 necrotic.
Okay. Roll me a
that
d8.
stone, baby.
So erosion, baby.
We're down.
Lucian, the music you're playing, it's copyright free, right?
It's literally part of the Witcher 3 game OST. So, yes,
Well,
it is
it's
copyright
not.
free.
Is it?
Well, if it's
If
game
it-
audio,
if it's an
it
original-
should be.
The Witcher 3.
No, it's not always.
Okay, well,
Is
yes,
there-
I'm fairly sure it is. Yeah, it is. It is. Don't worry. I'm making sure to like, yeah.
Let me just check if anyone's ever streamed The Witcher 3. Oh yeah, they have.
It should be fine.
Can Lucian's chat real quick mention, somebody said that they can't hear the music at all?
Huh, hold on. Let me turn it up a bit. Is that better, guys?
You down on Discord?
Yeah, okay.
Uh-oh.
Right. So D8 necrotic damage. What did you roll for that, Ed?
Hang on, I was trying to figure out how to actually get the dice back out again for the D8. Because it seems to keep getting stuck on the building. Yeah, okay, so for some reason it only wants to spawn outside. I guess his garden's just going to get covered in stuff.
Rolled
So
a
that's
7.
Sorry, a 7.
Yep.
Okay.
On
The
a
gargoyle,
D8.
as you fire, the pistol, the bullet hits the gargoyle in the shoulder, and it stumbles back slightly. You can see cracks start to emanate from where the bullet hit. The cracks are a little larger, and they seem to start emanating some sort of green, glowing, sort of wispy energy.
So after that's gone off, I'm basically just gonna keep the sort of casting pistol trained on it and just just staring at it, just stand down.
The gargoyle does not seem to understand you, and attempts to rush you and lunge at you with a pair of rather sharp-looking stone claws.
Is it rushing past Netheri?
Yes, it is.
Does she get an opportunity attack?
Yes, she does.
Oh yeah, range is going to be a weird one with all these miniatures, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can
not like
use
the corridor.
rulers to figure out range.
Tiles are 5 feet, so you should be able
Yeah.
to know how far you can move.
Yep.
So yeah, this...
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Sneak little.
I moved exactly 4 tiles, which is my almost all of my movement speed.
Yeah. Okay, so Netheri, you get an opportunity of attack on the gargoyle as it's charging past you. Would you like to take that opportunity?
I would love to take that opportunity.
Right. What are you attacking with? I'm assuming.
may
the
I
quarterstaff.
attack- May I attack with my quarterstaff and
Yes.
attempt to hit it as it goes by?
Yep. Roll me a d20. Ooh.
Okay, there was something
Yeah.
weirdly hilarious about the music completely cutting out and just...
Yeah.
Right. It's whenever you change your screen that it, because you're changing tabs there. So when you switch tabs, it loses focus on the music.
It's brilliant.
Oh, I see. Well, I didn't realize that it did that, but okay, I'll leave it there for now. Okay. As the gargoyle runs past, you manage to catch a glancing blow on the gargoyle's shoulder. Roll me a d6 for damage.
Yeah.
Ah. As you hit the gargoyle, the staff impacts on the opposite shoulder from where the bullet hit, and cracks start to emanate from that side of its body as well. But it does not go down. It charges towards Ed and attempts to swipe at you. But misses
Nope.
due to the intervention of Nethari. Its arms seem to be heavier on it than they were before, as if it's finding it difficult to stay upright.
Not today,
Right.
Rockhead.
Your turn, Sarin.
Alright, I will rage and charge towards it, swinging down my great
Thank you,
axe.
Alexander. Right. Roll me d20.
Just imagine an electric guitar riff every
Wait,
time
no.
you do that.
What is your great axe? Is it...
Well, to hit is a d20.
It hits always a
Okay.
d20.
Yeah.
And with because I have martial weapons proficiency, I gain my proficiency bonus to hit.
Yes,
Okay.
+2.
Okay, so that is
21.
Nice.
And my great axe is a 1d12.
Roll me a
Lady
D12.
Saren, do you have a little plus anything next to your quarterstaff?
Not currently.
Because I'm raging,
wow.
that's 11.
I think
That's
you
11?
have proficiency
Okay.
with that quarterstaff.
Right.
We couldn't find anything.
If that's one of the weapons you chose based on your class, you should have your proficiency added to it, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'll check for you
Okay.
after the game.
Thank you.
Saren, you swing your great axe at the head of this
Decapitation.
Yes, Lady Saren, you're proficient, by the way.
You swing your great axe at the head of this gargoyle, and as it impacts with the neck, massive cracks of green energy sort of start spilling out of where the axe impacts. You impact with enough force that you cut its head clean off. The body falls to the floor with a sickening crunch, and the head rolls away into a corner. Green liquid spills out of the stump of its neck and starts slowly eating away at the floor where the body has impacted.
Okay.
Oh, good to know. Don't get the blood on you.
Feel violence.
Right, back to you, Rose. It is your turn.
Nethiri takes a moment, looks around, blinks, and
Nathala gets startled, panics, and swings at the other gargoyle before hiding behind Saren.
That's sort of manageable. Okay.
Wait, with the quarterstaff.
Okay.
No. You can get behind me, but not behind Saren.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a range. Ooh, it's wiggly.
Ooh.
Ah.
Yeah, so you need to get, like, in
How many
range,
times have you said that in
and
your
then
life?
around.
No.
But yeah, you can probably hide behind Aluka, but you won't be able to hide behind Saren. That's too far to run. So yeah.
Okay, then
anyway.
she's just gonna shriek and back away.
Okay, roll me a d20.
I love just watching the wiggling on screen.
Okay.
Both Nethiri and Natalia are both the sorcerer class. They do not change class.
I rolled a 3, but I accidentally picked the dice back up.
Yeah, I saw the 3. Don't worry. You can't switch your roll. I saw it.
Yeah,
Right.
see all.
You lunge for the gargoyle,
3
but
plus
it
2.
screeches and backs away from you, and you miss, unfortunately. Is this? Yes, this is the correct gargoyle. Okay. The gargoyle then proceeds to lunge for Aluka. Aluka, what is your dex? Could you remind me?
My dex is a 17. I have a +3 in dex.
Okay, that's fine.
I have a 16 in armor class.
Yeah, the gargoyle misses. It tries to claw at you, but it misses. It doesn't seem too pleased about that, and it starts
It's about to
hissing
be
at
a
you.
lot. It's about to be a lot unhappier. It's about to be a lot unhappier, I think. I'm hoping. That's the gargoyle's turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. The 5 plus 2, which is a 7. Do I hit it?
No, you do not.
Okay.
So the gargoyle recoils back as you try to hit it, and it's still hissing, and it's not
Okay.
happy.
I am going to actually move.
Okay.
Yep.
Ed, it is your turn.
Okay, basically same as last time. Although I am going to take one step to the left, so I'm not shooting through Saren. And
Range.
just cock the casting pistol and blank fire again. Told the dead on the Garg, so it's got to make a whiz save.
Mm-hmm. Wisdom is. Yeah, okay. It fails the whiz save.
In which case, it now takes 1d12 necrotic damage. Hang on a second. I'm just writing down what the fuck my whiz save actually is. It must be an 11. Right, so back up.
Should write down what my spell attack is.
Huh.
Oh, oops.
It's a 9.
I did math wrong.
Oh, cool. The little journal on the top right shows you all the previous rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
This program's awesome.
It's a nifty little program.
Once we can get the railings out of the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys looked on my stream, I don't have them in the camera. I have no issue.
Yeah, check
I
the
got around to
little
it.
green slider on the left, on the right bar. It should allow you to slide away all the railings.
That's the problem I was having. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that is cool.
Roll me that d12, Ed.
Already did. It got a 9.
Oh, it got a 9. I see. Thank you. I didn't
Thanks,
see
you
it.
God
pop up.
Wizard.
Right. The bullet streaks
John Saint to
towards the gargoyle, and it barely is able to let out a scream before it goes in one side of its face and out the other, and falls over, defeated. Both gargoyles are now dripping green liquid out of various parts of their bodies. It's a tad unpleasant looking, honestly.
Guessing nobody knows prestidigitation.
Well, no.
Oh,
Gilk
fine.
is still in a rage, so he's gonna run and break in this door on the side here.
Please, what is it with you people indoors?
Some sort of vendetta, but I'm not entirely sure.
What have you got against good carpentry?
Right. Right.
Just a quick check. Which one of us are human?
What?
What?
Just Saren.
Just Aaron? Okay, thanks.
No. Hello.
So
Oh,
Ed's
two.
human as well.
Ed's human.
So,
Wait,
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Right. You have successfully defeated your first encounter. What
Saren
would you
defeat
like
the
to
door?
do? What would you like to do? Or what are you doing right now?
I mean, Saren is attempting to break down a door.
Trying to get through this door, not break it down. Because he's still enraged looking for combat.
It's very much unlocked, but it is a pull, not a push. A lot of the doors in this place are.
God,
Okay.
I'm not very good with remembering character names. Huck. Ed, what's your character's name again?
Isaac.
Isaac.
You can just
Guillaume.
go with Ed, it's fine.
Yeah, Guillaume looks over at you and kind of gives you a shrug and goes, my name is Guy, and I do not know the rest of them, but we better follow to make sure they do not die.
Yeah, that seems quite a possibility.
Nice
Isaac,
to meet
by the
you.
way.
He holds out his hand.
Isaac takes it and shakes it.
You hear the jingling of bells. There are no bells on the outfit. He walks away from you.
Rage and
All the dead twice. Isaac is perfectly fine with bells.
Nathala grabs onto Isaac's hand and says, "What's going on?"
Sorting out the infestation, priests, followers of Tenno. That's about it. Oh, don't step in the green stuff.
Rock creatures.
from the other room, you hear Gilk say,
Barbarian.
"Skullface guy." His speech is impaired as he's currently stuffing his face with pig.
Guillaume walks in and goes, "You know, it's much more polite to call him a lich."
Continues eating the pig.
I see.
That's a pig you're eating, not a lich, but okay.
Understandable. I cannot find my miniature. Where did it go?
By the way,
it probably went
From my
upstairs. Hold on.
experience from a few hours ago.
Gone.
It's just
Where is it? Where has it gone? That's a
Where
very
the
good
fuck-
question.
Double click it.
Well,
I did!
I'm
It
trying
appears-
to aim the camera, but it's right pillock in his place.
There it is.
Um,
Found it. You went up on the
Help.
balcony.
I see.
While I'm just gonna sort of go and try. How do I?
There you go.
how do
I've moved you
door?
back down. How do you door? I door for you. Do you want to
Can you
open this
for
door?
me, please? Oh, it's a push.
I'm trying to go where Saren went.
Uh,
Let's
oh,
split the party, why don't we? I've done it again.
hold
Well,
on.
How?
you're definitely splitting the party in one way. That's for sure. You're just pinging off into the distance.
Come on, man.
Where have you gone this time?
I don't know!
Okay.
Oh, there
I'm
you
gonna
are.
Scroll this down until I've removed most of the layers of this house because I'm getting confused.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
That's better. It's like
wait,
the
no,
Sims.
that's. Okay, that's.
There I am.
Yes.
I'm on the floor now.
Yep.
It
Okay, so
unfortunately
you-
resets my camera angle every single time I try to move my mini.
I see.
Doesn't do that with me. I'm not sure why it's doing that with you.
Yeah. I'm going to follow Saren.
Okay, so you followed Saren into what is
He's
essentially a rather large dining room. And Ed, you have entered what is essentially a sitting room of some sort. There's a nice big roaring fire. There's a table with a bunch of documents on it, a couple
I'm
of
just gonna
chairs.
hover by the doorway if that's all right.
Okay, what
Just
would
like
you
people
Guillaume's-
open
like
it and
to
peer
do?
in.
Guillaume scratches his chin real quick and goes, there is more food in the other room where the others went.
Not seeing any priests in
Is
here.
there wine?
Yes.
Okay.
Simple man, simple pleasures.
Bangs myself against the door a few times.
Yep, just
What the
out.
fuck?
Out. There's.
How the
it's-
It won't let me through the door.
That's not
Sorry,
where
you
the
cannot
door
walk
is.
Your character is too high. That's why. When you hold it, sometimes.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. So yeah, in this there's a small sitting room in here. There's a couple of chairs, a table, some documents, a little bit of like 2 cups of undrunk something. You're not quite sure what it is.
Take a sniff.
Take
Have
a
a good
sniff.
nose.
It smells very pungent, very spiced aroma, and something.
A weird one, but I'd like to roll
I
insight.
am the DM, yes, sort of.
This wine is lying to you.
It's technically not perception.
Hmm?
Technically. If you wanted to figure out what a substance is. Technically not perception.
I always thought that was investigation. Fair enough.
Well, I thought it was investigation as well. But maybe not.
It can be. Do you want me to use investigation?
I mean, that's up to you. You're the one trying to figure it out, so
What would you like to use?
yeah. What would you like to use?
I'd like to use insight because I have a +4. If that's the real answer we're going for here.
Okay, a quick question. How much do you know about drinks in a nobility setting?
in a nobility setting, Guillaume would know not only a lot about drinks, but also Guillaume would know a lot about different poisons and anything that would go wrong in a drink.
Okay, you can use insight for this then.
Thank you. That's a 5 plus 4, 9.
You do not know what these drinks are.
Understandable. He hands the drink to Saren's character anyway.
You have no idea what these drinks are.
After seeing his face, I kind of just pour the drink out on the floor.
Here's the thing, you can't see his face.
You can't see my face?
He's wearing a mask.
mask.
You have like his his body to like he twitch back, like jerks back from it or anything?
Nope. He just straight up took one look at the drink and then handed you the cup. Think it would be fun. Up to you. You do not have a second character rolled though, so that's fair.
You know what? I'll try it.
Yeah.
Spare the dying, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll try it.
I love this. I love that we did not check for any sort of combat after gargoyles got mentioned, but we are going to be insanely suspicious about these drinks.
Okay. Are you trying this drink, Saren?
Yeah, I'll try the drink. Just like a small sip of it.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, this is fun.
Okay.
You should have a lot as a barbarian.
Yeah, my con is +3, so 20.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
You down this suspicious liquid, and to a normal man, you would probably be blind drunk right now. As it stands, it makes you a little bit tipsy. It tastes a little strange, a little bit like spiced plums. Yeah.
Guillaume kind of monitors Saren's like response and like looks.
That's some good drink. Another. Smash the cup on the ground.
He starts to like consideringly like look at the other drink and actually like picks it up again. And like starts looking over the documents actually.
Ozik's just despairing in the main foyer at hearing all of this din going on.
Yeah. Guillaume's going through the paperwork.
Logging.
Okay, the paperwork consists mostly of what look like bills of sale, a couple of bits and pieces about land on the mainland, and a particular document that outlines the line of succession for the Dilferen royalty. And that is about it. There's
Guillaume
nothing.
rolls these papers up and sticks them in his bag.
Okay, very well.
Hey, if we're taking stuff, I want it in this locked box here.
Oh, you want in the locked box, do you?
You want in the lockbox, do you?
Oh,
We don't
I
have
see.
a fucking rogue in the party.
Nathala is seeing if there is anything of interest on top of the fireplace.
On top of the fireplace, there are a couple of brass figurines. They look like, well, two of them look like representations of two of the 7 gods. The third one, you're not quite sure what it is.
Ooh, shiny.
Could I get the name for the royalty line real quick?
Dilferen.
The Dilf line.
Yeah, the Dilf line. You knew that was going to happen when you made that
I
name.
did. I did. I was 100% aware of what was going to happen, but yes.
That's how the line succeeds.
He's he has left the bills of sale. He's mostly just taken the like line of succession documentation for the Dilferen royalty line.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's gonna
what is
also
everyone
stop
doing
and-
right now?
Can I have some door assistance, please?
Door assist.
Okay.
Open door, please.
Thank you.
You coming in?
Stick my head in. See how
You
far I
have,
can see
Ed, you have entered what looks like the
the
kitchen.
cheese room.
The kitchen.
Oh yes, the cheese room.
Ah, cheese.
There's a couple of bags of flour and wheat. There's quite a few platters out on the table. Some vegetables. There's a stack of barrels in the corner, and there's a box that is quite literally just full of pumpkins. Inset into the floor in the corner of the room, there is actually a rather large trap door.
Does anyone have a good history skill?
Scanning. I've got a +2, if that's anything.
That is something.
From where I am currently, can I see any of the Tenno wards and whatnot around the room?
The Tenno wards, you mean, not the Tenno wards.
They both sound
We're
literally
not
the same
playing
to me in your
Warframe, Ed.
They sound literally the same to me in your accent of the Tenno, not the Tenno.
It's
And
Tenno.
Yeah, pretty much.
10A.
Tenno.
There we go.
10A.
Tenna?
Yeah,
Oh,
10A.
okay.
There's an
Okay.
A on the end, not an O
Got
on
it.
the end.
I'm just going to sit here
Got it.
smiling at how many people are surprised at that. Thank you.
10A. Yes. Creepy giggle. Okay. Right.
So, were there any wards in here?
No, they're not as far as you can see. There are no tenor artifacts or wards in the kitchen.
The voice of concern pops up. Is there help? Maybe.
He's like, finish the question. Okay, so I'll let other folk go and then I'll do my next thing.
Okay.
I want in this lockbox here.
You want in this
See if
locked
there's any-
box. How
Yeah.
would you like to attempt to open this locked box?
With my axe.
Which, in fairness, you have assumed is locked and not asked if it is locked.
Again, this is how the party will go.
Yes.
I will check to see if it is unlocked, and if not, and if it is locked, I will use my axe to try to break the lock.
Okay,
Or
it is locked.
the locking mechanism.
It is locked. That is correct. If you really want to try and break open the box to unlock it, roll me a strength check.
At a suggestion, would not the hand axe be better for the small locking mechanism than the
I am
great
also 90% sure Saren has thieves' tools.
No, I don't.
What?
That's 5.
You miss and manage to bury your axe in the stone floor next to the box.
Probably for the best.
I have thieves' tools.
It seems quite lodged into the ground now.
Alright, I'll take 20 to retrieve it.
You'll take what?
As a D&D.
20-minute thing.
It's basically take 20 is a term where you just spend time retrieving an object instead of just rolling constantly for it.
Oh, so
I see.
thinking time, the idea being that you roll over and over and over and over for the
Until I
electric
succeed.
in-game time, and it must have hit that eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
I never
Guy
knew it
is
was
going
called that.
to.
Thanks, Saren.
Yeah. You can do a take 5, a take 10, or a take an hour, which is the equivalent of taking like a short rest in a scenario where you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just have to roll against like attacks. Guy's going to wander over and kind of like look at the axe, which is so firmly lodged in that, and hold up his hand, and there's just going to be kind of like sleight of hand wise some lockpicks in his hand, and he's going to just kind of stare at Saren's character. Thank you.
What?
Would you like to open the box?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do not hit me with
Should
the
we
axe when
really
you
be
pull it
opening
out.
boxes that don't belong to us?
No, not particularly, but I did take a document off the table to ask some questions about later. And while I was going to wait for later, since we are all stuck here while he gets his axe out, does anybody know anything about this line of people?
No.
Nothing? No recall?
No.
Well, I
Understandable.
mean, some of them look like different gods.
Oh, the figurines on the over there? Yes, those are. I am unfamiliar with most of them, but
You know
they
one
appear
of them.
familiar.
You know
Yeah.
one of them.
Yes, he
the
does.
one that you are aware of is a figurine of
Did you need my god?
Actually, I didn't need your god. I needed to know which one I was gonna make sure you knew about, because your god isn't actually up there. The god that you recognize is a figurine of Invict.
He picks up the figurine of Invict and kind of like rolls it around in his hand as if he's testing its weight. And he goes, this is the one I know. If you know, I suppose there are a lot of stories about Invict, but to make short of it, he's the god of innovation, of knowledge, and of secrecy. Interesting for a god to have secrets, no? And he puts it back down.
I guess. And she's visibly uncomfortable, but trying not to be rude.
What was your name again, dear?
I'm Nathala?
Nice to meet you, Lady Nathala. And he turns back to the box.
Okay. What skill would you need for lockpicking? Probably dexterity, right?
Yes, it is dexterity.
Okay, roll me a dex.
I'm going to.
And I believe proficiency if you're proficient in thieves' tools as well.
I am. What I'm trying to figure out here is I am 1 proficient with thieves' tools, so that's a +2. And then I am also proficient with my dex, which is a +3, so I should get a +5 on this roll. Rolled really good with the fucking
proficiency
things.
with the main stats was just saves.
Hey, never mind.
Hey! Okay.
Hey, never mind.
It takes you a little bit of time, but you do eventually manage to get the box open. Inside is a couple of sheafs of parchment, a small pouch, and a very, very interesting looking gemstone. It is dark green in color, and seems to be swirling a little.
He thins his lips. He absolutely does not reach for the gemstone. He seems to, like, kind of avoid it as he shuffles around inside the sheafs of parchment. And just kind of dig around a bit. And then he closes the lid of the box, and he looks at the other 2 of them and goes, I do not wish to fuck with that, but you are welcome to if you would like.
Ooh, Shiny runs up and grabs the gemstone.
Okay.
That's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I'm actually going to say that he, like, before she grabs it, grabs her wrist and goes, think hard on this one, but not too hard.
What
But
do
I
you
want
do?
it.
We are in, perhaps, a very arcane castle right now, and, well, when it comes down to it, we should not be touching the belongings of other people. So, perhaps if we take something, it will be more obvious than if we did not.
Fine, I guess.
Says the one that just took paperwork.
I
Useless.
simply have a question about it. I was not provided an answer, so I will simply have to go find one.
Can I open this trapdoor?
Yeah, I was
Yes,
about to
yes,
say,
you-
do you want to wait for us to...
You can
come to
open the
attention?
trapdoor.
Out of a pier. I don't see any Tano. Oh, sorry, Tanner.
Have they left the room?
Have they? I don't know.
Natalia and they've left the room, correct?
Mm-hmm.
No, we're currently
your-
cowering in the corner.
I see.
Darren, why are you hovering? And like boogieing.
We got scolded by the scary-looking tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to very quickly just like roll. I assume it's gonna be a history check on that crystal.
You can try.
I
I
don't
would say
really think
it's
that's-
an insight check, though.
You would say it's an inside check? Yeah, that's fair. I don't remember. There used to be like a magic skill that you could roll for it, but let's see if I can fuck this up. Oh.
Oh,
okay.
you almost did.
Okay, well, hang on. That is inside +4.
Yeah, no, you like even with just a 19, you would know technically what this thing is. This thing is a crystal or a gemstone of condensed nature magic. This is quite literally pure magic. It is pure magic in physical form. It is quite rare. Not uncommonly rare, but quite rare. And it essentially allows a spellcaster who is not a sorcerer or a wizard to cast nature-related magic without the need for reagents or ingredients.
Interesting. He is going to leave that in the box and wander to the kitchen. And kind of before you open that trapdoor, Ed, he's going to go like, I think you should follow me for just a moment.
Just a moment yourself. Opens up the trapdoor.
Understandable.
While also, like as the doors swing open, just because I might as well at this point, I'm going to cast False Life on myself from my invocation for 1d4 plus 4 temp hit points for an hour.
Yeah, go for it.
Nithiri swipes the gemstone.
There you go.
Is that 2?
I have left the room. It's fine.
Yep. Okay, so you pick up the gemstone. With the most creatures, the gemstone wouldn't do anything. With you, however, it does because you're a sorcerer. Now, remember when I said the gemstone is essentially it's condensed magic. It is pure condensed magic. That was being literal. The way the gemstones are created is essentially, in certain areas of the world, magic coalesces so much that it ends up condensing down into like pure magical energy, and that takes physical form. With most creatures, there's nothing to interact. There's nothing for that magical energy to interact with when it attaches to them. So, like, a spellcaster will be able to use it no problem because they have the ability to harness it, but they don't have anything for it to interact with, essentially. Sorcerers are a different matter entirely, in that sorcerers have innate magical energy that the gemstone can literally latch onto and interact with. So roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I think this is fun.
As fun as it is, Lucian, time check.
Time check is 2 hours in so far.
You have 3 minutes.
Yeah. We have 3 minutes to wrap up and switch over.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
really? Okay. We did start a little late, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could resolve this, and then we'll have to deal with the trapdoor the next session.
Yeah, we'll deal with everything else the next session. The gemstone...
Roll the 3.
Yeah. The gemstone, as you pick it up, it starts glowing a very, very vibrant, like, bright green. Almost like a poisonous bright green. And it seems to latch into your skin. And it pushes a searing pain up your arm for a moment. And then everything sort of stops. And not in a case of like it just stops doing anything. In a case of everything around you sort of just stops. The fire in the fireplace is no longer flickering. The everything around you has basically just stood still for a moment. And a few seconds later, the gemstone essentially implodes and sucks in on itself. And then everything around it explodes, and you get flung across the room. And you take... Oof. I'm gonna let
Lucian?
you... off
Lucian,
a
did you
little.
kill her?
I didn't kill her. I didn't
Lucian?
kill her.
You'd have to do double max hit points in one go to kill, so that's...
You take 6 points of damage. Bringing you down to 2 hit points.
Lands on the other side of the room. Motherfucker, what the hell was that?
Guillaume looks back into the room and goes, condensed nature magic. Did you touch it?
And Gik runs back and is like, with battle axe at ready, where?
If I wasn't somehow stuck in the ceiling, I'd move Isaac in there. He's got to hover his way over.
Hover wizards. Please.
Okay, so there was... Everyone has come running at the sound of an explosion. Oh, you
Yeah.
got the chair
Yes.
D20 off. No! The D20
so
was resting.
as a point, Nathala now has stuck into the palm of her hand a small swirling green vortex. It isn't doing anything anymore, but it definitely doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. It is firmly lodged in the palm of your hand at this point.
New item acquired.
New item acquired, Nature Magic Vortex.
Yeah. Guillaume kind of just like looks at Natalia and gives her a little bit of a shrug and goes, these things happen with magic.
How did this happen? What? Very visibly confused.
You grabbed the rock that you probably should not have, but
So
Things happen.
effectively, she has now turned into Miroku from Inuyasha, with the vortex in their palm.
yeah.
I have
I hadn't
not watched
seen it
that,
until
so I
you
wouldn't
said
know.
that.
Sorry.
I hadn't seen it until you said that.
Anyway.
Guillaume kind of looks around and goes, does anybody have any healing potions? It definitely was a very large explosion.
She tries to stand up and dust it off as if nothing really actually happened.
Maybe don't touch too many things with the vortex.
Or perhaps things in general. We will see.
I can't believe
Right.
I'm doing this already. Just sort of gesticulates a little bit, and with the shield arm, the holy symbol emblazoned on the shield glows slightly, and healing word on.
She hisses.
On that.
Roll. What
Give me a
does
moment
healing...
for figuring out what healing word what uses, because it's not the same as cure, and I always forget that one.
Like a pool of die, I think.
No, that's lay on hands.
1d4 plus spellcasting,
Yeah.
sorry.
1d4 plus spellcasting. So, oh, there's fog suddenly in the bat mansion. So 1d4. Hey, yep. There's so many dice in this room. 2
Yeah.
plus 1, so 3 totes.
Nice.
So how much did we heal for?
You heal by 3 points. Okay.
I suppose I should thank you for that. Doesn't really want to.
Well,
I suppose you should. I've only got 2 of them in me.
Can you
Walks
repeat
back
that? I
around the
didn't
room.
quite hear you, Ed.
I said, I suppose you should. He said, I suppose you should. I've only got 2 of them in me, and just walks out the room again.
Guillaume follows.
Right. With that, we are going to end our first session of this campaign. I hope you lived.
Kind of.
We haven't endured the stairs yet, though.
Here's the thing: you
kind
lived, and I only put you up against one set of enemies, And somehow one of you still managed to almost die to a rock.
2 incidents combined, though. One of
I
which being
almost dead to
door.
a rock.
The
Twice.
key word is almost.
Uh-huh.
Oh, don't
Keyword
forget,
is
the door
almost.
also got me.
The
Oh
door
yeah,
did
yeah.
also
You
hit
took
you.
1 point of damage from the door, and then 6 points of damage from a rock.
It was a shiny rock, okay?
Did the
Uh-huh.
gargoyles actually even hit us? Now I think about it.
No, they did
hit
not.
one person.
Did they?
They hit Rose once. The claws hit Rose once.
Do they?
Nope, they just missed.
No, they missed. They missed. Like they missed every time. Which
She made funny faces at it while it missed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to do XP for this session because it was session 1. I'm going to store up the XP for, well, session 0 actually. I'm going to store up the XP from the Goggle fight for the next session. Rose, add 1 Vortex of Nature magic to your inventory.
I thought it was just going to be Rose, don't die again.
And
my bad.
Aluka, add 1 Dilferan Line of Succession document to your inventory. With that being said, that is the end of the session for today. Our next session, hopefully, will be on the 2nd Wednesday of next month, which, if I remember correctly,
Well, it's the 8th. So because
December
next
8th.
Wednesday is
It's
the
the 8th.
next Wednesday is the 1st, and the following
Yes.
Wednesday is the 8th.
yes. So on the 8th of December will be our next session, hopefully. And after that, every session from then on will be on the 2nd Wednesday of every month, hopefully. Problems or adjustments notwithstanding. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for the
Yes, it was
D&D
good fun.
portion of the stream. Me, Saren, and we're going to go grab Sliver as well. We're going to end up playing some Satisfactory in a little bit. But for now,
At least
thank
for
you.
a bit until I have to jump and get my have a quick meeting with my little guy's school.
Indeed. But yeah, for now, thank you all very much for joining us. I hope that that all of my players for today had fun with this interesting turn of events.
He has guns.
And yeah, with that being said, have a very good evening, everybody, on the stream. And yeah, next time we convene, we shall actually get somewhere, and you might figure out what exactly is going on around here.
Keyword is might.
Might.
Like,
Perhaps.
I think we might spend 2 or 3 sessions in or around the manor. Honestly, there's a lot of content around here.
He
A
spent
lot
a long
of
time
interest.
building it, and I'm going to break every box.
And I'm gonna touch every rock and explode.
Yay!
I like how all of you failed to look at the small pouch of stuff that is also in the chest, but we'll leave that till next session. Right.
Somebody remind me.
I won't.
Somebody remind me.
At any rate, me and Saren are going to run off and play some Satisfactory. If anyone here has any questions about the session, do let me know. Have a very good evening, everybody. And yeah, I'm going to take
It
a
was a
break,
pleasure.
make myself a cup of tea.
Yeah. And I'm gonna switch to this screen, try to get my camera working again.
I look
Yes.
forward to immense chaos.